Scorpio, I'm going to tell you something you already feel but haven't been able to put into words yet. January 2026 isn't just going to be good. It's not just going to be special. It's going to be that month you'll remember in 10, 20 years and think, that's when everything started to make sense. And I know you're skeptical. I know you don't easily believe in pretty promises. But what I'm about to show you isn't a promise. It's inevitable. And there's a huge difference between the two. You've been feeling a buildup of energy beneath your skin, as if something is about to explode. And you tried to ignore it, because Scorpios always try to control what they feel. But that feeling didn't go away. It grew. It became more intense. And now you know. It's not anxiety, it's not paranoia, it's anticipation. Your body already knows what your mind is still processing. Something monumental is coming. And it arrives in January. Let me be direct with you because I know you hate beating around the bush. January will give you back everything that was taken from you, every piece of you that was ripped away, every dream that was stolen, every time you had to swallow your anger and move on as if nothing happened. All of that, there's a reckoning being settled. And January is the month of reckoning. But listen, this isn't about revenge. It's about cosmic justice. It's about the universe finally looking at you and saying, now it's your turn. And I need you to understand something crucial before we continue. What will happen in January isn't luck. It's not chance. It's not finally something good happening. It's a consequence of every time you were strong when you wanted to fall apart, of every time you chose the truth even knowing it would hurt, of every time you stood up when everyone expected you to stay down. You built this, Scorpio, with blood, sweat, and a resilience that no one sees because you don't bother to show it. January is the harvest, and it will be abundant in a way you forgot was possible. But there's one detail I need to make clear now. You still don't fully believe, do you? Because you've already been disappointed too many times. You've already waited for good things that never came. You've already allowed yourself to believe and then had to swallow the bitterness of yet another frustration. So you created this armor of skepticism, this shield of, I expect nothing, so I won't be disappointed. And I understand. But Scorpio, listen, this armor that protected you also imprisoned you. And January comes precisely to break that, to force you to feel hope again. And yes, it will be scary, it will be frightening, because hope is the most vulnerable thing that exists. Now take a deep breath and pay attention to what I'm about to reveal to you. January isn't going to be an easy month. It's going to be intense. It's going to be transformative. It's going to be one of those months that shakes you to your core. But it's going to be good. Good in a way you haven't experienced in years. And the difference lies in this. It won't be that superficial happiness, that fake, everything's fine. It's going to be that deep satisfaction of someone who is finally in the right place, with the right people, doing the right things. You know that feeling when you look at your life and think, that's it, I deserve this? Well, that's what the whole of January is going to be like. And there's something specific that's going to happen in the first few weeks. Something you've been waiting for so long that you'd almost given up. It could be a job opportunity that changes everything. It could be someone entering your life in an overwhelming way. It could be an emotional healing you thought was impossible. It could be recognition that's been denied you for years. I don't know exactly what yours is, because every Scorpio is in a different battle. But you know, you've always known. That thing you silently ask for, that you desire so strongly it hurts, but that you never admit aloud for fear of seeming weak or desperate. That's it, and it's coming, in January. But let me warn you about something important. When it happens, you'll want to sabotage it. You'll want to find the flaw. You'll want to find the reason why it can't be real. Because Scorpio, life has trained you to expect the worst. You've been conditioned to believe that when something good appears, it's a trick, a trap, it's temporary. And this automatic reflex to destroy what is good before it destroys you. It will appear, and you need to recognize it and fight against it, because this time, it's not a trap. This time, it's real. And if you sabotage it out of fear, you will regret it in a way that will leave a mark. Now let's talk about something no one tells you. January will expose who is truly on your side. It will reveal truths about the people around you that you've been ignoring. And some of these truths will hurt. You'll discover that certain people you considered allies were just using you. That certain relationships you thought were solid were fragile and self-serving. But at the same time, and here's the beauty, you'll discover loyalty where you never expected it. You'll see true love coming from places you underestimated. January is a month of revelations, and revelation always comes with simultaneous loss and gain. And there's one thing about the best months of your life that no one prepares you for. They're not comfortable. They force you to grow. They push you out of your comfort zone. They challenge you to be bigger than you've been. And you, Scorpio, have been living smaller than you truly are for too long. You've been hiding, you've been putting yourself down, you've been pretending to be less intense, less powerful, less you, because whenever you showed your whole self, you were hurt. So you learned to diminish yourself. But January doesn't accept that. January demands that you expand, that you occupy all the space that is rightfully yours. And when you do that, when you finally stop shrinking, then you'll understand why this month is different from all the others. Do you know that feeling of always waiting for the other shoe to fall? Of never being able to completely relax because deep down you know something bad is coming? January will cure that. It will teach you again what it's like to live without that constant tension on your shoulders. And at first, it will be strange. You'll be looking for the problem. You'll be waiting for the bill to arrive. But little by little, you'll understand. There is no bill. There's no catch. There's only you, finally receiving what you always deserved but never had the courage to demand. And here's something that will affect you. In January, you'll need to make difficult choices. Choices that will define not only the rest of 2026, but the next few years of your life. And these choices will place you between what is safe and what is right, between what is comfortable and what is true, between keeping the peace and honoring yourself. And you already know what you're going to choose, don't you? Because you didn't get this far, you didn't survive everything you survived, to ultimately choose the lie, just because it's easier. You will choose the truth. And it will hurt, but it will be worth every second. Let me tell you something about abundance. You think abundance is about having more. More money, more success, more recognition. And that's part of it, yes. January will bring those things, but the true abundance that comes in January is something else. It's an abundance of peace, of clarity, of finally understanding who you are without all the baggage you've been made to carry. It's an abundance of freedom. Freedom to be intense without apologizing, to feel deeply without shame, to exist in all your complexity without having to explain yourself. And there's something about Scorpio that I need to acknowledge here. You are the ones who suffer the most in silence. You are the ones who carry pains that no one sees. You are the ones who help everyone but rarely ask for help. You are the ones who transform poison into medicine, trauma into strength, pain into power. And no one applauds, no one recognizes it, no one says, thank you for holding on when you could have crumbled. But January is that recognition. It's the entire universe stopping, looking at you and saying, I saw every tear you swallowed, every scream you stifled, every time you wanted to give up but kept going. I saw. And now it's time for you to receive. Now pay attention to this because it's important. January will give you back things you didn't even know you had lost. It will give you back the will to dream again, the ability to trust, the courage to open up, things that were taken from you so gradually that you didn't even realize they were gone. You only woke up one day and realized you were living in survival mode, not life mode. But January is coming to change that. It's coming to remind you that you weren't born just to survive. You were born to live intensely, passionately, deeply. And there's something about this particular month that's almost supernatural. It's as if all the energies that have been against you for years are suddenly aligning in your favor. Those doors that always slammed in your face, they're going to open. Those people who always ignored you, they're going to seek you out. Those opportunities that always slipped through your fingers, they're going to fall into your lap. And you'll be tempted to think, finally, I got lucky. But it's not luck, Scorpio. It's recognition. It's the universe settling accounts. It's life giving you what was always yours, but was being held back for reasons you never understood. And here's a hard truth. Some people in your life aren't going to like your success in January. They'll pretend to be happy, but inside they'll be seething with envy. They'll try to minimize your achievements. They'll look for flaws where there aren't any. And you need to be prepared for that. You need to understand that the resistance you'll encounter isn't about you. It's about them. It's about their fear of being left behind. It's about their anger at not having the courage you have. And you can't let that stop you. You can't let other people's insecurity steal your joy. But there are also those people who will genuinely rejoice with you, who will celebrate each of your victories as if it were their own, who will support you, encourage you, celebrate you. And these people, they are the ones who stay. They are the ones who matter. And January will clearly show you who is who. It will separate the wheat from the chaff once and for all. And you will be grateful for this clarity, even if it hurts in the process. Now let me talk about something delicate. You've been carrying guilt for things that aren't your responsibility. Guilt for not saving someone. Guilt for setting boundaries. Guilt for choosing yourself when you always chose others. And this guilt has been eating you up inside. It's been preventing you from enjoying the good things. It's been making you feel like you don't deserve to be happy. But in January, this guilt will begin to dissolve. You will finally understand that taking care of yourself isn't selfishness, that you're not responsible for saving everyone, that you can be happy even when others aren't. And this liberation will be one of the most profound things January will give you. And there's something about the first days of January that I need to warn you about. It will seem like nothing is happening. It will seem normal, ordinary, just like any other month. And you'll think, it's all a lie, it won't be any different. But wait, because great things always start small. They start with a detail, a conversation, an email, a chance encounter. And suddenly, a week later, you look back and realize that that small moment was the beginning of something huge. So don't dismiss anything, don't ignore the signs, pay attention to the details, because January speaks in whispers before it shouts. Let me give you a concrete example of how January can manifest itself. Imagine you've been trying to build something for months, maybe years. A project, a business, a career, a relationship, and you've been running up against obstacle after obstacle. It seems like the whole universe is conspiring against you. But in January, these obstacles simply disappear, not gradually, all at once, as if someone had removed an invisible barrier that was blocking everything. And suddenly, what was impossible becomes easy. What was heavy becomes light. What was confusing becomes crystal clear. And you'll look at it and laugh, because you'll finally understand that it wasn't you. It never was you. It just wasn't the right time. And now it is. There's something about real transformation that nobody explains to you. It doesn't happen gradually. It happens suddenly, after a long period of invisible preparation. It's like a butterfly. It doesn't gradually become a butterfly. It stays in the cocoon, in the dark, as if nothing is happening. And then, at a specific moment, it emerges, completely different, completely transformed. And you, Scorpio, you're at the end of your cocoon. January is the time to emerge. And when you emerge, nobody will recognize who you've become, not even yourself. And here's something that will give you chills. Some things you've longed for so much in the past that never came. They'll appear in January, but you'll look at them and realize you don't want them anymore, because you've changed. Because what was essential a year ago no longer makes sense for the person you've become. and that's good. It's a sign of evolution. It's proof that you're not stagnant, that you've grown, that you've transformed. And it will be liberating to realize that you no longer need certain things you thought you needed to be happy. Now let's talk about something practical. What do you do with a month like this? How do you make the most of it? First, you allow yourself to receive. This seems simple, but it's difficult for you. You're so used to fighting, to conquering, to wresting things from life with your own hands, that you don't know how to receive when something comes easily. You're suspicious. You reject it, you look for a trick, but in January you need to learn to open your hands and accept what is being offered, without distrust, without fear, only gratitude. Second, you take action. January will bring opportunities, but opportunities don't materialize on their own. You need to seize what's being offered and do something with it. You need to take the next step. You need to have the courage to move, even when you don't see the entire path. Because in January, visibility is low, but the direction is clear. You don't need to see the whole path. You just need to take the next step, and then the next. And the path will reveal itself as you walk. Third, you let go. You let go of control. You let go of the need to understand everything. You let go of the obsession with knowing exactly how things will unfold. January is a month of flow. And you, Scorpio, hate flow. You like control, strategy, knowing 3 steps ahead. But January doesn't work that way. January demands trust. It demands that you surrender to the process, and that will be uncomfortable for you, but it will also be liberating. Because you will discover that not everything needs to be controlled to work out. And there's something about this month that's almost magical. It's like you have an invisible shield. Things that would normally hurt you will simply slide off. People who would normally drive you crazy will lose their power over you. Situations that would normally leave you panicked will seem manageable. Not because you become stronger, you've always been strong, but because you're finally aligned with who you truly are. And when you're aligned, nothing can bring you down. Now, I want you to do something. Close your eyes for a second and imagine. Imagine yourself at the end of January, on the 31st, looking back on the entire month. How do you want to feel? What do you want to have accomplished? Who do you want to have become? And most importantly, what are you willing to do now, today, to ensure that that future version of yourself exists? Because January isn't passive. You can't just sit and wait for good things to fall from the sky. You need to prepare. You need to be ready. You need to be open. And preparation doesn't mean having everything figured out. It means being willing to become destabilized. It means being willing to let die what needs to die. It means being willing to embrace chaos before order. Because January will mess up your life before it truly organizes it. It will create disarray before it tidies up. And you need to trust this process. You need to understand that not all mess is destruction. Sometimes it's just reorganization. There's one last thing I need to tell you before you move on. January will show you that you're capable of much more than you imagined. It will push you beyond your own limits. It will prove to you that those ceilings you placed on your life weren't real. They were just fears disguised as being realistic. And when you break through those ceilings, when you finally allow yourself to dream big, to desire big, to be great, then you'll understand why January 2026 will be one of the best months, not only of 2026, but of your entire life so far. So Scorpio, take a deep breath. Feel this energy. Feel this anticipation. Feel this fear mixed with hope. Because what you're feeling right now, it's real, it's valid, it's your body, your soul, your whole being preparing to receive what's coming. And what's coming is big, it's transformative, it's deserved. And when it arrives, when January finally envelops you with all its intensity, you'll look back at this moment and be grateful for not giving up, for not closing your heart, for keeping that flame of hope alive even when everything seemed lost. January is yours, Scorpio, and you're more ready than you imagine. The only question that remains is, will you embrace this with all the strength you have, or will you let fear make you small again?